Well, good Saturday morning to you all. I guess it's going on afternoon now. I wanted to, been thinking about writing something, writing a status, or I don't have a blog, but figuring out some way to address this. I've got friends and uh, near people who are near and dear to me, also people who are not near and dear to me, talking about the social justice, racism. Um, Gay rights, talking about the Paige Patterson ordeal, and all of this stuff is just really bringing out the worst in people. Um, I want to just come out and say that racism is wrong, and there is a racism problem within churches. There is a bad racism problem within the Baptist church. If you don't believe me, go to any Baptist church that's not in a big city and you'll probably find it. There's also a huge problem with sexism in the fact that, first of all, I don't believe a woman should pastor, okay? That's unbiblical. I don't believe a woman should preach or teach before men. I am super conservative on all of that. The problem is that we cannot say that people who are standing up for the respect for women, or standing up for respecting women, or standing up for instance, a lot of people say that a woman has to be subjugated to her husband in a way that even if a husband wants to have sex with his wife, if the wife isn't feeling like having sex with her husband, then she's in sin because she won't have sex with him. There are people out there who believe that kind of stuff, and that's not right. That's not biblical. To make women as less than equal to men, that's not biblical either. Women and men are equal, but given different roles. And standing up for respect of women, standing up for equal treatment and fair treatment, standing against sexual misconduct, that's not liberalism. And that's not being a social justice warrior. That's being a Christian. Standing up and realizing that our black brothers and sisters, or our Mexican brothers and sisters, or our Chinese brothers and sisters, or any other ethnicity or color, standing up and actually opening our eyes. And if you want to use the word woke, well then whatever, I guess shame on you, because that's not really what it's all about. If you're really going to open up your eyes and see, maybe they do feel kind of left out, or maybe they do feel like they're not part of the household of God. And maybe if we look around, we do realize there are some things that don't add up biblically. Maybe our attitudes or our treatments towards these people. And maybe we understand that the church of God, whenever, the Bible talks about there's neither Jew nor Gentile, slave nor free, maybe we realize that what the Bible expects the church to be is not always what it is now. And if we realize these things and we look around and we actually speak up for them, now we're being labeled as people who are Marxists or social justice warriors or whatever. That's just part and parcel with the gospel. To understand that we're equal, to understand that we all deserve really, fair and honest treatment, to be against anything, even things that have become just part of our culture, that are against certain, races. That's not liberal, and that's not new age. That is standing up and looking at people as equal creation of God. And we have to be so careful, because I'm seeing this a lot, that we say, well, you're a liberal, or you're woke, or you're a social justice warrior, or you're a neo-Marxist, or whatever, when we simply buck some of the traditionalism, which I do. We buck some of the traditionalism. For instance, they say, well, you didn't vote for Trump. Well, it's none of my business who I voted for or who you didn't. But people say, well, someone didn't vote for Trump, and someone is okay with ministering or being open to immigrants, or someone is open to refugees. Well, they're taking away our country and they're making it ungodly, and they're liberals, and they're standing up for the rights of black people, and they're doing all these things to protect women and to come to their aid when they've been sexually abused. They're liberals. They're new age people, whatever. No, Maybe we're just not your traditional backwoods version of Christianity who does not really care to follow the Bible as much as cultural expectation. Maybe we actually look at the Bible and we say, you know what? We're supposed to be there. We're supposed to be there and care for those who are outcast. We are supposed to be able to make the case for those who can't defend themselves. We're supposed to see to it that love is applied and grace is applied to black, white, brown, every color you can imagine. Maybe the institutionalized Christianity that we've come to not ever question, maybe they're in the wrong sometimes. Maybe those in Christian leadership are not who they say they are. Only time will tell, but maybe we ought to be willing to hear what the victims have to say. Maybe we ought to realize that if a woman comes forward with an accusation against a Christian leader, maybe she's not crazy. Maybe the Christian leader's crazy. Maybe the one who is coming and saying, I was mishandled, maybe she just now feels comfortable being able to do that because it's actually getting some traction today. I don't know. Only God knows, but I just have to say that the church needs to stop this. And Christians have to stop, especially those who are calling themselves conservatives. First of all, you're not going to get more conservative than me. I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just saying I'm as conservative as it gets. We'd have women preaching in our churches in my denomination if I wasn't the guy who stood up and said, hey, that's not right. So I believe as conservative as it gets on those issues, but I'm biblical enough to say, you know what, maybe our cultural preference needs to take a backseat to our understanding of Scripture. Maybe we need to understand that the gospel is not confined to our way of doing things. Maybe your political leanings, whether it be your religious political leanings, such as your denominational politics, or maybe your national politics, maybe your party's platform, maybe that fuzzies up your theology and clouds it. And maybe we need to understand that, these people who are standing up for other races, and these people who are standing up for women, maybe they're not liberals and social justice warriors and nut jobs. Maybe they're actually more conservative than you are. Because last time I checked, being conservative really means being biblical. It's not about being conservative politically. It's about being conservative biblically. It's not about being conservative as being traditional. It's about being conservative biblically. And I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'll just come out and say it. I think the people who are standing up for the outcast, the people who are standing up for the marginalized, the people who are standing up for those who are prejudiced against, they are more conservative, and they are more correct, and they are more biblical. Is there a messed up movement out there? Yes. Are there people hijacking biblical things and making it political on their side? Yes. But don't be so quick to lump everybody into neo-Marxism or whatever that even means, or social justice warriors, or liberals, or whatever, or woke, or whatever it is. Just get back to the Bible and put everything else on the side. So it has to stop. It has to stop, and I'm really disappointed to see how people are putting cultural preference above Scripture. I'm very saddened and heartbroken to see how people are discounting things that are obvious in regards to these issues we've talked about. They're discounting those things because of maybe they don't see them, or maybe that they don't think about them, or maybe they think that it doesn't really go along with their worldview or their expectation of what a convention or an association should be. Standing up for women, standing up for the good treatment of women, standing up for or standing up against racism, that doesn't make you some nut job. That doesn't make you some liberal. It doesn't make you some social justice warrior. It makes you biblical. And it's time that those who call themselves conservatives stop attacking those who are being biblical.